Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video is going to be some makeup reviews, and I'm going to be focusing this video on indie brands. I've been wanting to start an indie brand, like some sort of series, for a while now. And I have a bunch of products here, a lot that are newer to me and some that are newer to the market as well. And I really wanted to be able to review them. So I thought I could kind of compile them all together and just do one big review video focusing on some indie brands. I know Lisa Stevens also does a lot of really good indie brand videos as well. I'll have her channel linked down below in case you want to see more videos on indie brands. But I definitely want to be doing more of these. There's a lot of brands that I think would be really cool to spotlight. If you guys are interested in this idea and you like the style of video, please of course do let me know. But I have a lot of reviews to get through today, so why don't we go ahead and jump into it. So first up, I'm going to start with one of my favorite indie brands. This is Krisanna Ann Cosmetics. I have been wearing Krisanna Ann Cosmetics products for, I'm gonna say, 2 years now. I also really love the owner of this brand. I feel like she's really supportive of influencers and also her customers as well. I see her reposting and resharing people all of the time, which is so awesome. She did ask me if I wanted to do a giveaway with her, and I said yes. This is not a sponsored video or anything, but she emailed me a couple weeks ago and asked if I would want to do a giveaway, and I had this indie brand kind of review style video on my list for a while, and so I said that I could put a giveaway into this video. So if you're interested, we are going to be doing a giveaway together. I will have the link down below to enter and all of the other details down there, and she is going to give away a lot to one winner. So she has recently come out with these magnetic palettes, and you can see I have her single shadows in here. So she's giving away a magnetic palette, all of her single shadows, also her Olympus eyeshadow palette. She is letting one winner choose an eyebrow pomade. She has several different shades in an eyebrow pomade, so the winner can choose their best shade. And then also 2 of her liquid lipsticks. So I feel like that's a pretty cool prize. So make sure to check the link in the description box. And I thought that was really cool. When I gave an idea of what to do for the giveaway, and she legitimately doubled it. I was like, okay, yeah, you go girl, like this is awesome. So make sure to get entered in the giveaway if you are interested in winning those prizes. Also, I do have a discount code with Krisanna Ann Cosmetics. I've had it for quite some time. It is just March Beauty, and you get 20% off your order. But Krisanna Ann actually upped the discount code to 50% off. For the next few days here, I'll have the dates down below for when it will be 50% off, but I know it's gonna start the day that I post this video. So if there's anything that you wanna purchase from her website, like I said, she has single shadows, eyeshadow palettes, magnetic palettes if you're in the market for that, eyebrow pomades, liquid lipsticks, etc. Everything will be 50% off with the code March Beauty. So I thought that was pretty cool of her to do. It is a affiliate discount code. I do want to let you guys know, so I would make a commission off of that. Like I said, I have been supporting Krisanna Ann Cosmetics for quite some time now, and I do recommend the brand. I have one of her single shadows on my eyes today, and the single shadows are probably my favorite thing that she has released now. I just love them so much, and what I'm actually going to be reviewing today is 3 of her new shades. These first 3 in my magnetic palette here are her newest shades, so I'm going to be reviewing those, but I wanted to let you guys know about the giveaway and then also the 50% off on her website because I thought those are both pretty amazing. I'll also have Krisanna Ann's YouTube channel linked down below and also her Instagram, so you want to make sure to go check her out. Krisanna Ann is also a cruelty-free brand in case you were curious. And then like I said, I do have these 3 shades here that I want to talk about because they are new to her single eyeshadow collection, and she does have all of these other ones also. They are either $6 or $7. The 3 that I'm going to be talking about are all $6, or you can also get these 3 in a collection. It's called the Fates collection, and it's $15 for 3 or $6 if you want to purchase them individually. The first one here is called Trapos. I'm probably not going to be saying these names correctly, but this one is a matte shade. I have it swatched on my hand right here. It's a really beautiful kind of like that burgundy wine color. And again, this one is a matte. And then the next 2 I have are shimmers. First one here is what I have on my eyes today. I love this green. I'm totally feeling inspired by St. Patty's right now. This is called Clotho, I believe is what it is. So it's a really cool green shimmer. I'll go ahead and do a swatch as well so you can see it. Her shimmers are just gorgeous, like beautiful. beautiful. I do spray my brush with a setting spray for almost every shimmer that I use, so I do apply this with a damp brush as well, but it's so easy to apply. It's so easy to get on the eyes. I did film an Instagram tutorial of this look as well, so if it's up, I will have it in my description box, linked down below. If it's not yet, I do a mini tutorial almost every single day on my Instagram, so if you're ever curious about eye looks or things like that, face makeup, etc., I do a lot of mini tutorials over there, so I'm just March Beauty Word over on Instagram. The last one I have here, I'm really not going to be able to pronounce. Lachesis? That's probably not even close at all. So here is what this one looks like. It looks like a penny, and I wish I would have done that on camera. That was just, shoot, I don't think I'm gonna, you could tell I didn't cut the film at all there, but that one is so stunning. I mean, it really, I don't know how else to describe it other than it looks like a penny. It's really beautiful, kind of like copper but shimmer shade at the same time. This one is really stunning. So these are the 3 swatches of her new single eyeshadows. I think all 3 of them are gorgeous. Like I said, her eyeshadow singles are so good in quality. If you like the Makeup Geek eyeshadow singles, I mean, that is honestly what I would compare these to. They swatch beautifully, but not only do they swatch beautifully, they perform on the eyes so well. Again, I have the green on my eyes today, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. So again, those are 3 of her newer shades in the Fates collection. I'll have it linked down below as well, and then you can see that she does have other single shadows also. If there's a different color that you prefer, I have used all of them, and I really enjoy all of them. The purple might be my favorite. I just wore this one not too long ago. The purple is called NYX or NYX. This one might be my favorite. The blue is really beautiful as well, and the gold. They're just really good single eyeshadows. I would highly recommend them, but those are the new releases from Krisanna Ann Cosmetics. Also, we're doing a giveaway, and you got 50% off the website. Whew. So next up, I want to review the Colored Raine Queen of Hearts eyeshadow palette. I got this palette recently sent to me from a subscriber, which I was so excited about. This palette, when it came out, I mean, I don't think anybody really saw the success of this palette coming. I don't think Colored Raine saw the success of this palette coming, but this got hyped so much on YouTube and Instagram. It was selling out. They would put it for pre-sale, and then it would go on sale and it would sell out again. Like, it was so crazy, and it was so hard to get your hands on. I tried a couple of times and I eventually just gave up. So I was so excited to receive this in my P.O. box because I really did want to try it, and I really did want to see, is it worth the hype? Colored Raine is still a fairly small brand, I would say. They have come out with some new eyeshadow palettes recently. They have smaller eyeshadow palettes. They just did release a new bigger eyeshadow palette, but I feel like the Queen of Hearts is kind of what really put them on the map here. The inside has been compared kind of to the Anastasia Modern Renaissance. You have a mixture of the matte and shimmers. You do have a nice mirror. I like the packaging. I like the shade selections inside also, and I've used this palette now either 4 or 5 times. I've used it several times, and I really wanted to play with it and play with the mattes, play with the shimmers, and see what I thought about all of them. And what I will say is that I really like this palette. I think it's really good. I think it delivers. I understand why people were so hyped about this palette. The mattes blend easily. They show up well. The shimmers are really gorgeous. I used this shimmer not too long ago, this purple one in here, and it was beautiful. And sometimes purple shadows, they can be a bit of a struggle. So when you find a good purple one, like the Krisanna Ann one that I just mentioned, the purple in here, I've even used this purple over here. That one was really pretty as well. I get excited for those because sometimes purples look so beautiful in the eyeshadow palettes or in the pans, and then it just does not correlate the same way on the eyes, and it's so disappointing. But this one I feel like is actually really good. Sorry, the packaging is so hard being so reflective on camera here, but this is a really nice eyeshadow palette. I like the packaging, I like the mirror, I like the shades inside. I think that they perform really well, but it is a $50 eyeshadow palette, and I do think that's pretty expensive. It's a struggle for me because I understand that sometimes indie brands do have to charge more. But at the same time, it's kind of a struggle because, you know, I prefer to purchase from Sephora and Ulta and get points or Ebays or something, have some sort of kickback somewhere. Like, I'm a deal chaser. I don't like paying full price for things. I want some sort of deal somehow to slip in there. So $50 I still feel like is really high, but I still do really enjoy this palette, and I would recommend it. I just feel like, you know, maybe if they have a special coming up. I think I've only seen this go like on special like one time, but maybe it will happen again. But if you are willing and you know, you have the $50 and you really do want to spend it on a good quality eyeshadow palette, I think that you will get this in the Queen of Hearts palette. I would recommend it. I just wish the price tag wasn't quite so high, but I can understand it. But definitely, I do understand what the hype is about. I feel like I can create gorgeous looks with this. Honestly, I would still, if I had to choose between this and my Modern Renaissance, I would still choose the Modern Renaissance. There's just a few more shades in there, just a few more, just a little bit more versatile for me, but this one is still really gorgeous, and I would recommend the Colored Raine Queen of Hearts. I think it's a really good eyeshadow palette. So I have been very lucky to receive some Juvias Place palettes from subscribers over the past month or two here, which has been awesome because I only owned one Juvias Place palette prior to that. It was the Mini Masquerade palette, and I've been curious about the brand. I've wanted to try more from them. So I have 3 palettes here that are a bit newer to Juvias Place and are all, you know, fairly new to me, but I've tried them out several times now, and I thought that I could review these. So I have the Douce palette. This, I believe, is the newest palette, or the festival palette. I can't remember. They put out a lot of palettes. This is one of their newer palettes. And I actually just mentioned this in my February makeup monthly and in the favorite sections, so you know that that means that I love this palette. I use this in creating a makeup look. I did a BabsBeauty inspired Valentine's Day tutorial, and I used this palette. And when I did, I was like, oh man, I really like this palette. I actually have it on my eyes today as well. I used these 2 shades at the bottom here to create this eye look, in part with the Krisanna Ann single shadow that I used, but I just love this palette. I'll leave my video linked down below because I did review it a little bit more in that makeup monthly, but the color selection of most Juvias Place palettes intimidates me because I'm not the best with color. I'm not the best at looking at a palette and being able to think of a makeup look. For whatever reason, this palette just speaks to me, and I love the pinks. I love the greens in here. I love this pinky shade right here. I think it's beautiful. I feel like I can create some really fun looks with it, and I've reached for this palette quite a bit. So this one is definitely a favorite of mine. All these palettes are $21.50 on the Juvias Place website. So I also have in here the Festival palette by Juvias Place. I did do a first impression style video with this one. I'll have that one linked down below in case you're interested in seeing it. This one was definitely one, when I opened it, like, I get very overwhelmed looking at this because this is a lot of color to me. This is a lot of brightness. This is a lot of, like, my brain doesn't know what to think when I look at this palette. But I still feel like I've created some really fun looks with this. And one thing that I'll say about this palette is that even though these shades are very bright and they can look very intimidating, they don't really do that on the eyes. Like, I was worried, like, coming in with this red or this pink or the orange, like, I was afraid that I would put my brush down and it would just be like a splash of color. You can't blend it out. It's like it's too much. But they're actually not quite as colorful on the eyes, and it's easy to build them up. And I personally think that that's a good thing. If it's like too colorful, too much, too hard to blend, you can have a very messy eye look that you're not going to love. But I enjoy the fact that you can build these up and they aren't too overwhelming right away. To me, that actually does help. I do like this palette, and I've created a few looks with it. Some of my favorite shades, like, I really love this kind of like mustardy color over here, and the gold is really pretty. And then I like having that option to do something different and more creative and colorful if I ever am feeling those vibes with this red and this orange. I enjoyed the look that I created in my first impression video, kind of more of like a sunset eye, but that's kind of the biggest thing is what I would say. If you're interested in the Festival palette but maybe you're a little intimidated by it, just know that you will kind of have to work with the shades and build them up. And again, personally, I think that's a good thing. So I would say that's good if you're intimidated by it, but that is the Festival palette. Still really good quality. I still just prefer the Douce palette the most out of the 3 that I'm talking about, but probably my second favorite, I would say, if I was ranking these 3. I think this one would go right in the middle, and this is the Saharan 2. This is also $21.50, same style, same concept inside. I do like that they're a bit cheaper. They don't have a mirror, which is kind of a bummer for me personally. I know that doesn't matter to everybody, but for me, I like when any of my palettes have mirrors. It just is much more helpful for me. But I do like the affordability, and I think there's also influencers that do have discount codes for like 10% off or things like that. I don't have one myself, but I'm pretty sure I've seen that floating around, so you can get it even a bit cheaper. And sometimes they do have bundles on their website also, so if there's a couple palettes you're interested in it, you might be able to get a bundle. And of course, I'll have the Juvias Place website linked down below. I think I like this palette the second most because it's kind of more me and kind of more my style, because you do have these beautiful shimmers. The first 6 shades here are all shimmers, but they're kind of more on the neutral side, but there's also like a hint of something else. Like the shade right here, I used it the other day. It's kind of a really cool like peachy shimmer color, but it has a lot of orange in it. So it doesn't look as intense in the pan, but when you actually put it on, I think it's really beautiful. And then you also kind of have this really cool kind of like mermaidish style color there, which I think is really cool. It's kind of like maybe like a seafoam green, I would say, and that's a really beautiful shimmer. And then you also have this kind of like bright electric blue, and that shade is really gorgeous as well. So you can kind of go both ways with this palette. You can do something more neutral, or you can amp it up as well. And I like the versatility of that. I like that you do also get these 3 matte shades, and I feel like they did a great job putting these matte shades in there. I don't necessarily have like my normal traditional crease color because they're all just a little bit on the darker side, but I still like having them. You can deepen up an eye look, you can use it for lower lash, I mean it's makeup, you can use it for whatever you want. I do reach for this shade quite a bit, and this one here, it looks kind of more like a burgundy in the pan, but it actually comes off more pink on the eyes. So that's something I'll say about that. There's a swatch of it there. I mean, I don't know if you'll be able to tell for sure with the swatch, but stay tuned. I believe it's gonna be tomorrow's video. You're gonna see a lot of these Juvia's Place palettes. You're also gonna see a little something different from me, so tomorrow's video will be pretty exciting. But this one definitely actually comes out pretty pink on the eyes, which I feel like is different from what you're seeing in the pan. But like I said, I like the versatility of this one. I like the different looks that you can create. I do like that it has a lot of shimmers in here. I'm more of a matte person, but I feel like with those mattes, I feel like I can still create a fun look, and I just like the selection of shimmers in here. I think it's a really cool palette. So this would probably be my second favorite out of the 3 from Juvia's Place that I've mentioned. But Juvia's Place, I feel like they have really good quality eyeshadow palettes. I like their affordability, and I do like the brand a lot. So those are my reviews for these 3 Juvia's Place palettes. So next up, I do want to talk about a pair of lashes and another indie brand, of course, obviously. If you guys are new to my channel, I just prefer lashes. I have like really meek little lashes, and I just have always preferred false lashes for years and years and years, before YouTube and everything. I just love lashes. So this brand is called Bold Face Makeup. I'd seen them, I think how I first heard about them was through Nicole Renee Cutler. I really love her YouTube channel. I'll have her link down below, but she started talking about this brand and I was very curious about it. I love finding new brands, especially like I'm trying to incorporate more indie brands onto my channel, but I also love lashes. So when she started recommending them, I was pretty curious about them. I did actually have a subscriber send these to me, which I was super excited to be able to try them out, and it was funny because I was just getting ready to make my purchase. I had, I think, 4 lashes already in my cart. And then Janaya let me know that she's going to be sending me some, so I was pretty excited about that. So I have the lashes on my eyes as well right now. I have the style Rise and Grind on there. So Bold Face Makeup, they have lashes right now. They have 2 different collections that you can shop from, the Bold collection and then also the Glam collection. These lashes are in the Bold collection and they are $8.75 per lash, which I think, or per lash pair, you get 2, you know? But I think that's a really great price. I think that is very affordable, so that's awesome. They are also a cruelty-free brand, which I think is fantastic, and of course they will be linked down below. So one of the first things that I noticed about the lashes that I don't particularly love is simply the way that they feel. And this is gonna sound really weird, but I love lashes. I wear lashes a lot and I know my preferences. And when I feel these, they kind of feel like crunchy. And I know right away that those aren't necessarily my favorites. Like, I don't know how to explain the type of lashes that I like, but they don't have this kind of like crunch feel to them. They're just kind of softer and I feel like they look more natural on the eyes. This style is definitely not a natural style. This is definitely very bold, but just the way that they feel, I was like, ooh, I'm not sure I'm going to fall in love with these. The band is also very thin, which is a good thing. I prefer thinner bands because I feel like they're easier to blend in to your actual lashes, instead of having a really thick band that just kind of like looks awkward. If you have smaller eyes or hooded eyes, a lot of times lashes with really thick bands are not going to look natural on you at all. So I like that it has a thinner band because I also don't need to use a liner. I feel like it does look more natural on the lash line, but the band is also really thin, which does have its downsides as well, because sometimes it can be really hard to apply lash glue to something that has such a thin band, because the lash glue can kind of like slip off of the band, if that makes sense. And I kind of noticed that with this one. And then also, they're just not the easiest for me to apply, and I apply lashes almost every single day. So when I kind of struggle with lashes, it definitely bumps me out. And again, while I like the band and I like that it's thin, I think it's almost a little bit too thin for me. Like, I need to have that kind of like really fine balance between a thick band and a thin band, and this one is just a little bit too much on the thin side. I will say though, like the first time I applied it, I really struggled. I think I had to take them off and put them back on like 2 or 3 times, and I was just like, I'm not sure about this. It's definitely gotten easier the more that I've worn this pair of lashes, and that can be that way with a lot of lashes. So if you get a new pair of lashes and you put them on and you struggle, don't immediately write them off, because sometimes you actually need, like, you need to like beat up your lashes a little bit and like show them who's boss, and then they will apply easier for you. So that's a tip that I have, because sometimes, I'm pretty sure I've said it in that in past videos as well, sometimes you just need to apply lashes for a while and it'll get easier for you. And I noticed that with this one. So I do think that they are nice and lightweight once I get them on. So that's a good thing. I like to have lashes that have more of that thin, lightweight band, where after a couple hours, like my eyes don't feel too heavy and they're not irritated or things like that, because I do have sensitive eyes. A lot of different factors can bother my eyes. So I need a pair of lashes that are more lightweight, and I think that these are. Again, this style is very, very bold, and not usually as bold as I am with my lashes. I really want to try another pair of the bold face lashes, something that I feel like maybe would be a little bit more natural when it comes to lashes. I know my lash style isn't necessarily natural, but it's also not super, super bold. So I want to try out one of those pairs and see how I would fare. Again, I think these lashes are good and I like them. And especially for $9 for lashes, I think that that's a really good deal, and I will definitely give it another try. I just can't say that they became my absolute favorite right off the bat, or something that I continually reach for, just because they're just a little bit hard for me to apply. I need to kind of work with that band, and like this one I feel like has given me a lot of problems. So if you've noticed this lash is looking a little wonky, I had to take this one off and try to reapply it again, and I still feel like it was kind of giving me some issues. So that's just kind of the downfalls for me, but at the same time, they're nice and lightweight. I like that they do have a thinner band, and of course they're an indie brand, a cruelty-free brand, and they have really affordable prices. If you have tried a pair, and if you would know something maybe similar to like the Pure Diva lashes or something like that, and that you've tried from Bold Face, let me know, because those would be the ones that I would purchase. But like I said, I like them, I just don't love them, but I think that they're pretty darn good, especially for such an affordable price tag. So that is what I feel about these lashes from Bold Face Makeup. Let me know if you have tried these down below in some of your favorite styles. But other than that, that's going to do it for today's indie review wrap up. Ooh. Okay, so that is everything for today's video, talking about a few indie brands and reviewing some of their products. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, or you found it helpful in some way. Let me know if you've tried out any of these products that I've mentioned, or let me know what are some of your favorite indie brands. I did ask this on Twitter a couple weeks ago, and I have, like, I could already do a part 2. I already have, I think, maybe 4 other brands, at least 3, if not 4 other brands that I could do in another video. But if you want to see more of these and you want to see kind of like these indie brand spotlights, please let me know that in the comments, because I can happily do so. And if you have more brands that you would like me to check out and review in upcoming videos, let me know. Make sure to enter into the giveaway with Krisanna Ann Cosmetics if you are interested in that. The link will be in my description box with all of the other information down there. Thank you to her for working on that giveaway with me. But other than that, that's going to do it for today's video. And if you guys did enjoy it, I hope that you will give this one a thumbs up. I hope that you will also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.